More than 40 years ago, on a late summer afternoon in 1985, I arrived here in Chicago, entering the city through the very spot where this center now stands. I can still picture myself heading down what was then Cornell Drive in a janky used car that I'd bought in New York, with all my worldly possessions stuffed in the trunk and the back seat, so I really couldn't see out of the rearview mirror, and I was a safety hazard. And I was 23 years old. I'd just been hired by a group of churches on the South Side to help organize a part of the city that had been battered by steel plant closings and chronic neglect. And I didn't have much organizing experience. Didn't know anybody in Chicago. But I had been inspired by the civil rights movement, and I knew I wanted to make a difference. And although I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to do that, I was possessed with this abiding faith that if we could give people more of a say in the forces that govern their lives, if we could bridge some of the differences that drove us apart, then we could build an America where everyone counts and everyone has a fair shot and everyone belongs. Even a mixed-race kid with a weird backstory and a name nobody could pronounce.
I would like to know why they're not getting paid. In what sense is celebrating Juneteenth if our black contractors are not getting their money?
So, honey, we got to talk about Obama. The Obama Center is finally opening. The grand opening is going to be June 19th.
Friday.
You know, of course, they had to pick a black holiday. Mm-hmm. Honey, it's going to be the Black Boule Cookout.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. The Negro or the Black, I'm not going to say Negro, the Black elite celebrating, stomping more Negroes into the ground. Once again, Barack Obama is showing us that he does not care about middle class and working black people. So we have this list of performers here. Shout out to everybody that's going to go perform. I think they should all make their money because they are entertainers. But if we take ourselves outside of that moment and look at what's happening around that center when it comes to business owners and homeowners and renters in the city of Chicago, nobody asked for this, friends. Nobody asked for this at all. And so I looked at the center itself. You know, I didn't go into it myself, but I did look at the videos and the people who are doing the tours. It's a nice museum. You know, I will say that. It's a nice facility. It's a project to the presidency of Barack Obama, okay? And if you agree with that presidency, if it makes you feel good, you could go into that space and really relive that moment. However, it's a $40 million discrimination lawsuit currently open with the black contractors that were participating on this project. There's also a black plumbing company that says that they owe them $4 million. So everybody's telling them to go to the county and put a lien on it, you know, because, you know, you can actually put a mechanic's lien on it for things like that. The people who live around it, they're now engaging in land banking, meaning that people are now hoarding the land because they know it's going to go up. The rents have gone up. The property taxes have gone up. The reason that the property taxes have gone up is because this Obama Center is technically a non-for-profit. So it's not paying any taxes, and their tax levy is being pushed on everybody else. So it's quite the conundrum. I say it's not a presidential library, it's an Obama lie Barry, because Barry has lied over and over and over again about all of this.
My name is Omar Sharif, president of the African American Contractors Association. I've been in business since 1989. I never seen this happen since I've been in business. Even when I worked with the Chicago Urban League, so many of our black contractors are complaining about they have not got their money. But the other side of it, a lot of the black community and the newspapers do not know that these people have not been paid. Some of the people have put their mortgages up. They're going to lose their bonding, their rate in their bonding company. They're going to lose their relationship with their supplier, as well as their banker may want to bring in their note. So they're afraid to talk about these things, but they tell me in privacy that these things are taking place with them. And they're scared to death about talking about it, some of them. Someone will hang up the phone on you and just say, I don't want to talk about that, and bye. Yeah, we met with them on several terms, but that's when they told us they had to stop conversation about it because they all signed a non-disclosure. And we're that bridge over troubled water for them. Not only they're going to be at financial risk, they are going to not be able to work on other major projects that we try to place our contractors on. And some of our biggest contractors are being hurt and hampered by this matter. Some of our contractors are already in bankruptcy. That's what they're saying, that if it wasn't the fact that they worked on this Obama project, they would not be under this type of problem, filing bankruptcy for protection. So all we ask them to do is to pay them their money, work out the deal so that they can be happy of the place being opened up and they can see some relief. That's a bad signal to put out, the fact that 7 to 8 to maybe 10 of our contractors in our community going to be eliminated from doing business because of the debt that they incurred on this particular project. And they're leaving those contracts, deserting them, telling them they go be whole, but they ain't seeing no signs of it. They keep meeting with them, keep kicking the can down the line. They should just tell them when they can get paid. It leaves a bad taste for the contracting community because of the fact everybody was feeling proud, everybody was racing to be on the Obama Center, but if they would have known there was a Trojan horse or a Pandora box, I don't know if they would have raced as much as they did to be a part of it. Because nobody's in business to lose money and not to feel good about what they did.
Hi guys, let me share something with you real quick. Here's the thing, Medicare is predatory. Not the coverage itself, but the way that it's sold. Too many brokers pushing plans that serve them, not you. Too many mailers designed to confuse you. And for a lot of us, that's not surprising. We're used to systems that weren't built for us in mind. That's why I'm putting you on to Chapters. They're independent, the only Medicare providers that compare every plan nationwide. They are honest, they are salaried, they don't earn more based on what they recommend. They look at your doctors, your prescriptions, your whole situation, and they find what actually works for you. If you're already in the right plan, they say so straight up. Whether you're new to Medicare or if you've been on it for years, call Chapter 855-415-7389. It's free, 20 minutes, speak to a real person, know your worth. So, so tell us about that, because of course there's going to be some controversy and,
it's so much to unpack. It's so much to unpack. First things first, shout out to Brother Sharif. Mr. Omar Sharif. I know him. You know, we're all in the same cadre circle in Chicago. It's America's largest small town. With that being said, Dana, I told them, this man listens to Black Excellence Hour. All of these people heard me for years talking about how this man plays games and manipulates Black people or Negroes via emotion and jiving with the tribe, right? This is what he does. So now let's talk about the fact that these people don't even want to discuss what happened. Because as I keep telling everybody, we are being bullied by the Democratic Party here in the city of Chicago. I just got an audit notice from the state of Illinois. So they are not playing with anybody on any level if you're not going along with what they want you to do. Because Barack Obama is the king of the Democratic Party here, these people are expected to suffer in silence. You better not say anything. They will raise your bond rating. They will put a fine on your building. They will audit your business because they believe that if we don't want to go along with it, they have the duty to bully us into getting in order. That's the first thing. The second thing is what Barack Obama did to these contractors is what he did to Black America during the campaign, which was let me into your space. Let me use your credibility in order to accomplish my goals, and then I'll take care of all of us. And as we saw during his presidency, that didn't happen. We saw during this building, this did not happen. They asked him for a community benefits agreement, well, not him directly, but the Obama Foundation, and that was to guarantee certain things for the community, such as this $270 million endowment that they were supposed to create to help the homeowners. Dana, it only has $1 million in it. So again, more lying, more jiving with the tribe, and fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. All of these people were so happy. They thought that they were finally going to get a seat at the table with a black boule, and they told them, get back, Negroes. Thank you for your work. That's what we're dealing with. This, again, is another what? Obama lie, Barry. It's a lie. This is lie after lie after lie. You can keep your doctors. A lie. I'm going to help the homeowners. A lie. Black America will get better. A lie. Lie, 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 lie. So now when you see Barack Obama talking to you, Black America, you have to think to yourself, this man is lying to me. And you have to get upset about people lying to you. They think that you're a fool. And you're showing that you're a fool because you keep walking back into this trap over and over again, and they keep executing the same play.
It looks like a big piece of rock, kind of right in the middle of what used to be Jackson Park, full of like lush flowers, trees, and just beautiful. And all of a sudden here you've got this big monstrosity. It's over budget. It took way too long to build, and it's ugly.
So I wanted to play that real quick, that quick clip, because he was saying that it used to be a park there. Like, so what was there before? Because, people are saying, oh, it's so beautiful. You could have cookouts with your family, and you could enjoy the museum.
It was a park. So if you've ever been to Chicago, we have gorgeous parks. Okay, that's a different taxable body. Flowers, trees, birds, ducks, ponds where people can go fish. It's just a community space. This was not barren land, to that guy's point. Trees were there, birds were there, flowers were there. People used to have barbecues and do the electric slide right there. Now you have to pay $30 to go in there. Dana? It's $30 to get into this Obama Center, on top of the fact that it costs taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars because they were way over budget and they did not fulfill their obligation to fund the endowment. So the taxpayers are paying over and over again for this monstrosity. This looks like the federal jail downtown. We have a federal jail here in the city of Chicago, the Metropolitan Correctional Center. And this looks exactly like the MCC. So this doesn't even bring up happy feelings for Chicagoans when they go past. Again, this was people trying to relive the Obama era. The Democrats are losing a lot of foothold here, so they thought that if they could just get in one more play and show the people, yes, we can, one more time, they would come back, and they messed up again. And this is a huge slight against the Democratic Party and Barack Obama.
I am so proud of my husband. He's really messed up. I'm giving him some time because this beautiful skirt that my stylist Meredith Coop picked out, that is a portrait, my favorite portrait of my mom. He didn't know it existed until just a few minutes ago. Marion would have been so proud. She was so proud of her son-in-law. And the man that he is and has been to our family. always dreaming probably way too big, but always pulling it off. Thank you for doing this for the South Side of Chicago. I love you.
I am a little shaken up by this because I love my mother-in-law, and she made a home for Michelle and Craig, not with a lot, but with a lot of love and hope and perspective. They represent, to me, what's best about this country.
So this was another way to jive with the tribe. Now her mama is on the skirt. You know, this reminds you of an old Black woman, and she built a house for Michelle and Craig, you know, her two Negro children that she raised here in Chicago. Get on board, Negroes. We're all in this together. And we're not. Dana, we're not. He has a mother. Her name is Stanley Ann Dunham. Why doesn't he ever talk about Stanley Ann Dunham? Want to know why? Because that would really show that he does not have any connection to Negro people. So he talks about his African father, he ignores his white mother, and then he elevates his wife's family in order to give him access to, again, continue to play these tricks on poor and working class Black people. Every time we fool with Barack Obama, we end up holding the short end of the stick.
I didn't realize how massive the campus is.
So much to take in, literally so much.
They got the Obama J's.
This is beautiful.
For these young men to walk into the Obama Presidential Center and to be on this campus gives them such an incredible sense of what they mean to all of this, because they're part of this incredible legacy and the future of it that is here at the center.
Where's it at? Where's it at? Hey. At what age did you decide to make a difference, huh?
It's one thing to hear about it, to read about it, to have people talk to you about it. It's another for them to actually be here in person, to witness this and understand what they mean to it.
Yo, this is all his quotes.
And check this out, like, this is just incredible. Oh, that's fire.
Even though they're all over the country, they're all joined by the fact that they are MBK ambassadors. The first group of MBK ambassadors, as a matter of fact. And the joy that comes with that is so palpable.
Yeah, that's me right there.
Oh, wait, what? That's crazy. Wow, this is insane. Whoa, whoa.
Si se puede, what that mean?
Si se puede means yes, you can.
So basically, you got to pay $30 every time you want to go in there to enjoy that whole campus of a library.
Inspired. Yeah, $30 to get inspired.
To look at Barack Obama Jordan's Michelle Obama gown she wore in the White House. To look at a fake Oval Office from the Scandal television.
Yes.
You got to pay
at Fritz's office. To look at Fritz's desk.
Right. And you got to pay $30 to enjoy the park, to have a cookout with your family, which it was free before this library was planted there because it was a public park for the public. Now it's private. And I don't understand how can the city of Chicago sell public property like that to a private entity?
They sold it to him for $1. This is all tomfoolery. So Lucas, what's his name? Who's married to Melanie Hobson that has Star Wars?
Melanie Hobbs. Yes.
Melanie Hobson's husband, Lucas, Mr. Lucas, that's over.
George Lucas.
George
Yes.
Lucas. I don't know why I was thinking Frank. Okay, George Lucas wanted to use that same space and put the Star Wars museum there, right? The city of Chicago had a conniption fit. We can't sell the land. We can't put a museum there. The lakefront is sacred. Blah, 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 blah. Barack Obama comes. They sell him the land for $1. Let him privatize that space. But they took it a step further, and now all of the lakefront has now been privatized, meaning that you have to pay now to drive and park your car on the lakefront, and there's a gate to make sure that you pay. You see what I'm saying? So yes, That's, man, Brandon is not trying to win. Chicagoans are so mad that they can't go to the lake. Like, that's a Chicago thing. I digress. So this was a way for them to privatize the lake and use the Obama Center as the anchor to do that. Again, we tried to warn the people. Dana, every time you try to warn people against what this man is doing, they'll say that you're a hater, you jealous, you don't want a black man to succeed. And those men or those guys that were there in that video, I knew 2 of them actually. I'm like, whoa, they really doing this. These are the guys that they always go get when they want to stand and dress up black people in front of the cameras. So this is their ready-made group of people. I appreciate them mentoring these boys. Those boys definitely need mentorship and all of that. But I don't think that it's fair that they have to pay to get inspired. Again, this is our tax dollars, our tax bill, our land, and they took it to privatize it for a pet vanity project for Barack Obama. This is not a presidential library.
We were taxpayers' park, public park, taken away, right?
Yes.
Which probably breaking all types of violations, sold it for $1, made private, and now you have to pay $30 to even enter that space. And then if you want to go to the lakefront that's near there, you have to pay to even go to the lakefront that used to be free as well. So that whole area is basically gentrified to the 12th, privatized and gentrified to the 12th power, because you got to pay to enjoy the lake. You have to, that used to be free. You have to pay. That used to be a public park. Now you got to pay to go see an ugly stone building. And
that reminds you of the prison. Yes.
Right. Just to look at Barack Obama's shit he had at the White House. So
yes. It's ridiculous, Dana. But how do you get this out to the people? I try to warn the people every time he comes around. I'm like, no, stop, guys. This is a trick. And they're like, shut up. Get the mic away from her. And you got to play it again. So now let's see if they're willing to close the door.
President Obama been? He's been building a very expensive eyesore in Chicago for the
form of a
presidential
library.
Yeah. We saw a tour of him inside, and the inside doesn't look any better than the outside. People have compared it to the Dark Star, some sort of Star Wars thing. But we have now, there it is.
You go.
Look at that. So that's what he's spending hundreds of millions of dollars to do, to build in Chicago. Well, Obama's presidential library chief breaking the silence on the controversial design you see here, Kim Patterson of the Obama Presidential Center, helped answer the question that everybody is asking. Where are the windows? There are not a lot of windows on the building, but that's intentional, because sunlight is just not a friend to the artwork and the artifacts that are going inside of the building, Patterson said. But what's the deal with the building's shape? That also was intentional. The shape of the building was actually meant to mimic 4 hands coming together to show the importance of our collective action. So there you go.
Boy. Well, I mean, look, you can look at it a number of different ways. And I've been to quite a few of the presidential libraries, not this presidential center per se, but let's be honest about it. This is not exactly a shining beacon of a design, at least from the outside for most Americans. That said, I will acknowledge that you can have your own taste, and some people have no taste.
It's not a shining beacon because you can't let the sunlight in, apparently, and that is by design. I do not see the hands. Maybe when all is said and done, we will start to see the hands coming together. Also, the big thing is just how expensive this library has come. It was supposed to be $300 million. It has ballooned in price to $850 million.
Oh, yeah, it'll top $1 billion before it's all said and done. And by the way, a lot of people still asking a lot of very important questions about the documents. You can sort of hide your documents and sort of store them until your center is finished. It's taking a long time, too. Maybe it's just me. I'll be very curious to see how this all wraps up, Griff.
I'll just add this, and that is, when we were showing the video of former President Obama with a hard hat and a construction vest walking around giving the American public a tour. Here it is. You know what I think that is?
Shades of Dukakis.
I think Obama realized how successful Donald Trump was when he engages and does things like this. And he thought, I'm going to steal a page and try and sell my eyesore presidential library and go a little Trumpian, and people can see me with the hard hat.
Yeah. If he shows up at a McDonald's soon, we'll know that you're onto something.
Or if he's rolling out in a garbage truck, maybe that too.
I'm Steve.
So I want to comment on this real quick because speaking of Trump, because Trump, he is going to have his library. And honey, he going to make sure that it is the most grandest thing ever. But one thing about Trump, I can tell you right now, he's not going to build it on public park space that was for the people. No, he's not. Because this part of Chicago, is this the black section?
Yes, this is one of the blackest sections. This is where all the black people live on the south side. When they say the south side of Chicago, they're talking about Woodlawn, where this was built. And Dana, you saw those black people in that video clip they just showed us them with the hard hat. They didn't get paid. Those are the people who did not get paid. Black folks did not get paid, but they did the labor. Once again, the Democratic Party used Negroes for slave labor. Unpaid labor. Like, what does it take to get upset, Dana? How you can tell the people, you can warn the people, you can give them facts, you can show patterns, you can do it all, and yet this still happens over and over and over and over and over and over again. Why?
But you know who got paid though? This Nigerian artist who did the painting is nice, but she got her commission.
Oh, I feel the energy shift.
Hi.
How are you?
So nice to see you. Before we get any commentary in, we just got to soak it in.
It's us. And
It is
all
so pretty.
of the stories
Look
within
at
the story.
Your house is behind there.
Euclid. Oh my God, you got everything in there.
My only real question is, how come you didn't dye my hair in the photo?
It's
Don't they usually touch it up a little bit?
I thought about it.
What was your sort of sequence?
So I did the drawing first of the two of you. We read all your books. We listened to all the interviews you all have done, podcasts and videos. My whole studio got to know you. I wanted to make these decisions that tapped into those memories. So when you saw this, it felt familiar.
It is beautiful. Was there anything that surprised you?
It was good. It was so challenging because it made me push myself. It took me out of my comfort zone.
Well, it looks fantastic.
Oh,
In fact, I'm going to have a suit made with this man.
You know how long I've been wanting this woman to do something with and for me.
It was an honor.
I mean,
it was an honor.
We did it.
Child, she got paid, but those foundational Black Americans, construction
Nothing
workers,
for the Negroes. Barack Obama hates Negroes. Look around, friends. We lost 40 to 70% of our wealth while he was in office, okay? HBCUs closed while he was in office, some HBCUs, which is why President Trump changed the HBCU funding structure when he came in after him. We had record high unemployment. We had the cartels setting up their groundwork here for what we're seeing right now. They had Operation Fast and Furious that sent all of those guns down to Mexico, which I can feel in my heart ended up back here on the west side of Chicago, because if they were sending up $1 billion worth of heroin, they definitely were sending guns too. My people were killed during that era. Y'all, two of my first cousins were killed during that era, and it could have been from a Obama gun. We do not understand the damage that has happened. But I think now, because he's played with these black men in the city of Chicago about their money, it's about to be a huge shift in the sentiment toward the former president, because you can't play with Chicago people and our money. Oh no, we might laugh and joke, but we don't giggle about money. So I think that they are going to either try to continue to intimidate these men into being quiet, or there's going to be a quiet uprising soon. We'll see what happens.
Well, one last thing here, because when I played the Fox clip, they mentioned, these secret documents that they're hiding. What documents might this be? Will it be maybe the documents that has the financial trail of how much the land was sold for, or the document stating that technically you cannot sell a public space, a city public space? Like, what documents you think that this Obama Center project and these city officials may be hiding?
The money, though, how the money is flowing, who paid whom, how did they end up spending $850 million on this? Nothing about that says $850 million, friends. Nothing about it says that. And then if you go back and you read the lawsuits of the gentlemen who are saying that they are not or have not been paid. So you got the plumber, but then you got the concrete workers. And the concrete workers were the ones to first sound the alarm because they said that they did a proposal bid for the concrete. They did the work, and then the architecture firm came back and said, well, hey, we need more concrete. And they're like, well, we didn't get paid for it. So that was a way for them to launder more money. So you pad the prices, but you don't pay the people more to do the work, and then you keep the money for yourselves. So that's what I believe the secret documents are going to show. It's going to show where this money came from, because they talk about how it came from private investors and all this kind of stuff. They never talk about the portion that the Chicago taxpayers paid. But you're going to have to see who gave you the private money. How was the money chopped up? We know that Valerie Jarrett, who is the executive of this project or of this organization, she makes $750,000 a year. $750,000 to run that rock that you just saw. And then they're shorting black men for their money here in the city of Chicago.
And I think that's just one of her salaries, the $750 million.
Yes.
Miss Untouchable. Miss Untouchable.
Yes, the Iranian princess. You know she's Iranian, by the way. Or she was born in Iran. Yes. She was born in Iran. Yes, ma'am.
Honey, that makes sense. So okay. So while Trump is in Iran cleaning Obama shit up, that's why Obama was, being probably friendly. And then he has an Iranian in his administration as his chief of staff.
Correct.
Oh.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Well, speaking of that,
nobody could have made this deal. I mean, the JCPOA done by Obama, he handed him $1.7 billion in cash, gave him hundreds of millions of dollars, gave him billions and billions of dollars, but he gave him $1.7 billion in cash, green cash from banks, into a Boeing 757 and flew it into Iran. And they stood at the plane. I have pictures of it, like, oh my, look at this money he's giving us. He tried to bribe his way out. I didn't do that. Nobody mentions that. $1.7 billion and hundreds of millions of dollars. They tried to bribe their way out of it. And you know what the Iranians did? They laughed at Obama and they said he's a stupid son of a bitch. Okay, thank you very much.
I mean, he listen, he got to make headlines wherever he go. And I believe they said that.
Why does Stanley Ann Dunham got to be a bitch though? She don't have nothing to do with this. Leave Stanley Ann out of it. But no, straight up though.
Wait, who's Stanley Ann?
Stanley Ann is Barack Obama's mother. So I'm a big fan of Stanley Ann Dunham. There's a book written about her called The Singular Woman. I encourage everybody to check it out. It's a book that was compiled of her journals and talking to her friends. And it really spells out like who she was as a woman, what she's into, how her son threw her to the side because he didn't want people to he didn't want people to know that he had a white mother because Barry Soetoro became Barack Obama Jr. And that's why he leaned so much into his father, dreams of my father, rather than reality with my mother. I digress. I'm telling you, I have psychoanalyzed this man. Remember, Dana, I left America because of him. I packed up my stuff, put my suitcase together, gathered up my money, and got away from Barack Obama. I could see this from the beginning. I knew what was about to happen. Just me sitting on the side, I'm like, yo, this not right. Like the way that people were all hyped up and happy and clapping and jumping around. I'm like, no, they just need a black face to institute the demise of the urban Negro. And that's what happened to us. He does not like black people, or I shouldn't say black people. There is a certain group of black people that he absolutely loves. But working in middle-class Negroes, no ma'am. No ma'am, no ma'am. There's no evidence, no artifacts, no receipts of him ever doing anything with all of the power that he's ever possessed to advance them.
And so I put on the thumbnail grifter, right? But he is a black immigrant grifter because he is a trust fund baby by what's his name? Santoro.
His stepfather.
his stepfather, who was a CIA agent and amongst other things. And his father is Kenyan. And of course, remember when he was running for presidency and it was the birth certificate, gate thing going around. And he probably wasn't born here in America. Who knows? Because you're absolutely right. He's kept his mother out of the public eye, and he leans totally on Michelle Obama lineage and her mom. And so that's why Barack Obama is a grifter, and a grifter is a con artist or swindler who obtains money or power or both through fraud, deception, or petty scams rather than direct death. Instead of using physical force, they rely on wits, fast talking, and manipulating trust to trick their victims. That's Obama all damn day.
I tried, Dana. I tried. I remember being at Hampton University in 2008 during the presidential campaign. And at the time, we had two cafeterias, the Big Calf and the Little Calf. I remember being in the Little Calf telling the people Barack Obama is a scam. Y'all, please don't buy into this. And I'm telling, call me all kind of names. I'm like, y'all, I used to be his intern. I have actually met this man. And being in his space, y'all, this is a trick. Please don't fall for the trick. But they let this brown skin open the gate, and then he rushed in, and the only thing that he did with his power is to give minority status to white men via LGBTQIA+. That's it. That's the only tangible thing that he did. And even by doing that, it diluted the power that the Negro has under the guise of minority status. Because now it's been totally diluted by foreigners, by white women, and now by gay white men or any white man who wants to identify as gay in order to get that access that was exclusively meant to repair the harm against the Negro. You see what I'm saying? He's not a Negro, a FBA. He is a Kenyan Irishman. And so he came in to do the work of the immigrant community that he belongs to. Nothing more, nothing less. And to do the work of the white community that he belongs to, which is why he gave minority status to these white men.
Thank you, P. Ray. I always love having you come on. Honey, you bring the facts and the data. I always say you are Chicago born and bred, honey, through and through. Yes. And I will be in Chicago late this summer. I'm definitely coming up.
Oh, what? We got to give a shout out to Miss Darcelle, who works at Leamington Foods on Madison. Dana, yesterday I went in there to buy myself a watermelon. Yes, it's watermelon season. And I was going through the line, and she said, I know you. I said, yes, ma'am. We met before. She said, yes, you be on Dana. Tell Dana. I said, what's up? Hey, Dana. So, yes, Miss Darcelle. Shout out to
Miss Darcelle. Hi.
Yes, she is a huge fan. Dana, your fan base is humongous out here. As I always tell you, more people know me from being on your show than being on national TV. So yes, you are a somebody.
I am somebody. And the world belongs to me. So yeah, I'm definitely going to make it out there this summer to Chicago. Chicago is popping. So and thank you to Dave. I'll read the super chats in a second. But thank you, P. Ray. Love having you on, and definitely going to have you back on, and we'll talk.
All right. See you in a little while.
Dana with the data. Dana with the data.